Welcome to the Guaranteed Growth Podcast. Let's grow together.
When we're talking about listening, I want to give you some quotes before I give you some keys. And one of the quotes that I thought was really interesting, it said this: one of the most sincere forms of respect is actually listening to what another has to say. Have you ever been speaking to someone and they're just like ignoring you? Maybe your children. Have you ever, you're saying something, they're just like not paying attention, and you'll even say something like this: you better respect me. You don't know who I am. I'm your mama. I brought you in this world. I'll take you out. But I think we're almost offended when we're talking to someone and they're just not paying attention. They're not in the moment. But if you really want to show respect and honor to someone, truly engage and listen. I'm going to show you how to do that in just a second. That's a great quote. But the second quote I want to just mention is, I remind myself every morning, this was Larry King that said this: nothing I say this day will teach me anything. So if I'm going to learn, I must do it by listening. Do you know that when you're talking, you're not learning? When you're talking, all you're being exposed to is your own knowledge. For you to learn, you must do this: listen to someone that knows more than you. Key number one: face the speaker and maintain eye contact. Eliminate all distractions. Turn off your phones, your TV, or any other potential interruptions. We must give our undivided attention. We used to tell kids, stop, look, and listen when they were crossing the street. You just can't cross the street. You got to stop, look both ways, and maybe listen to what's going on around you. But I think maybe we need to start saying that in our communication. It's time to stop, look the person in the eye, and listen. This week, I took my daughters to go, yesterday, I took my daughters to go eat some sushi. And my daughters they ate a little sushi in their life, but I took them to eat all-you-can-eat sushi. And I took them there, and you know what they brought? They brought their phones, and so did I. So while we're eating or beginning the process, one of my daughters is texting, and another daughter's taking pictures of the food and sending it to her friends, right? But there's no communication really at that table because we're communicating with everyone else that's not at that table. So I just decided, let's take our phones and let's just put them aside in a little pile and let's engage in this moment. We're going to have to learn when someone's speaking, give them the respect and honor they deserve, and stop everything. Stop washing the dishes, put down your homework, put down everything you're doing, and then look the person in the eye. Wow. That's kind of hard because we're so busy. Have you ever listened like this? They're saying something and you keep on doing what you're doing. Are you done yet? And then we wonder why our relationships aren't healthy because we have no relationship or listening etiquette. You guys got that? Skill number two, or key number two: lean toward the speaker and listen attentively. I want you right now, lean a little bit in. Come on, just lean it just a little bit in. And you know what this is saying? It's a posture, and this posture is saying, I don't want to miss a word of what you're saying because this word can change my life and my future and my relationships. I want to get every single word. I want to learn it so I could apply it, so I could teach it, so I could get the results of it. I want to become a relationship master. What do you say? Lean in. In Proverbs 4:20, it says this: my child, pay attention to what I say. The scripture is saying that you could be listening and not pay attention. Listen carefully to my words. So that means that you could listen or hear and not listen with attentiveness or carefully to make sure you understand. Don't lose sight of them. Let them penetrate deep in your heart. Number 3, key, take thorough notes. Now, you could take it on your phone. I also recommend do this week. Get a notebook and a pen and start writing down what you're learning, because we have a saying here, what you write down, you own, and what you teach others, you master. There's a lot of work put into a teaching like this, a lot of research put into a teaching like this. Why not get it so you could live it and get the results of it? This can save you from a lot of pain. This can save you from, this can save you from a divorce. This can save you from a broken marriage. This can save you from a broken heart. If we'll just learn how to have healthy and skilled relationships. After all, the Bible was written by thorough note takers. There was a illustration or a story I heard this week, and they were describing, this wife was saying, my husband, originally we got married, would get on my nerves. And she said, he'd get on my nerves because every time I spoke, he'd get a note paper and just start writing down everything I said. And she said, stop doing it. It's not that serious. He said, but I don't want to miss anything that you said. I want to make sure I understand what you're saying. And when she understood that her husband was just listening attentively, she goes, oh, okay. Wouldn't it be great that every time, husbands, you spoke, your wife just came with a note paper, like, give me the wisdom. And then while you're speaking, she goes like, wow, that's deep. But you know what that shows is respect and honor. Once in a while, I'll get in a teaching atmosphere, even apart from church, and people will come with a note paper and they'll come with a book and they'll write down every single thing I'm saying, and then they'll record it because they don't want to miss a word. And this is the idea. The effort that you put in your learning is the results, going to determine the results you're going to get in your life. Could it be that you want great results, but you're a lazy learner? An LL, Cool J. Number 4 skill or key. Keep an open mind. Listen without judging, blaming. Listen without jumping to conclusions and name calling. We cannot be skilled listeners if we're offended listeners, critical listeners, skeptical listeners, doubtful listeners, or blaming listeners. We don't want to say stuff like this while the person's speaking. Why'd you say something so stupid? That was the stupidest thing I've ever heard. And then we wonder why there's not good communication, and you wonder why your wife threw a pan at you. What? The idea is you don't want to be an offended listener. Be careful that you don't get offended and miss the wisdom. Be careful that you don't get offended with your boss, and your boss has a promotion that he's ready to give you, but he's giving you instructions and you can't receive it because you got offended because they promoted someone else last time other than you. You were next, but this is what happened. Your attitude disqualified you. Wouldn't it be crazy that your breakthrough is right here and you get offended with the speakers? You get offended with your teachers? You get offended with your mothers and fathers? Could it be that the devil has you tricked and he has you offended with every single teacher and every person that could give you wisdom, and you're sitting in church angry and upset because you're an offended listener? Listen with an open mind. Forgive everybody. Let it go and learn and grow.
Thank you for tuning in. Be sure to share and subscribe.